Welcome back to the last class of this NPTEL course titled Indian Society Sociological Perspective. And in fact, it's not a class; it's a very brief, concluding uh, session with a couple of concluding remarks. I hope we um, covered a long distance. We started with trying to understand the history of studying Indian society through sociological perspective. We started with the history of sociology and anthropology in India and its connection with the colonial with colonialism and colonial legacy. And then we covered a significant themes and important theoretical perspectives that came to dominate the practice of Indian sociology over these years. Um, it's almost 100-year story. Um, if you were to remember that first sociology department was established in Bombay almost 100 years ago. So it is a very momentous task to summarize this transformation, the important people, dominant theoretical perspectives, the multiple methodological orientations that are used. To capture all these complexities in a single course is quite a difficult task. And yet I believe that we have covered uh, important people, important theoretical frameworks, important debates in Indian sociology, and of course I might have missed quite a few. I might have not been able to incorporate a lot of important people, scholars, and their works, but uh, that was kind of unavoidable given the kind of time restraint that we had. So I hope you would have appreciated the complex uh, ways in which sociological knowledge was produced in India, the kind of multiple factors that shaped its trajectory, scholarly factors, non-scholarly and political factors, a host of ideological factors, a host of factors very closely connected with power relations. So the story of Indian sociology is also the story of a very complex relationship between power and knowledge. How Indian society was studied by certain section of people, by using certain perspectives is an important indication about how power worked in specific forms in different contexts. So starting from colonial period through ideological approach, through structural functionalism, through structuralism, Marxism, and through Dalit perspective, through subaltern perspectives, and through gender perspectives. There are multiple perspectives that offered very different explanation to Indian society, quite often competing, quite often complementary to each other. And these explanations provide a very vivid and very rich understanding and explanation about Indian society. And that is the beauty of a discipline like sociology, as I deliberately put the title as Sociological Perspectives, basically to convey the argument that sociology does not provide you a singular perspective to study of anything. The discipline is so rich that there are multiple perspectives within sociological perspective that offer quite some quite a kind of a competing explanations and explanatory frameworks to a given subject. So that provides you with the complexity of sociological knowledge. And as I mentioned several times, sociology is often seen as one of the most reflective discipline, which often undertakes a kind of a very serious, very genuine reflection on its own practice, and then try to reflect on its own practices and then institutional practices and individuals and then biases and other things, and then try to correct that. That is why we have had very interesting debates about Dalit sociology, about standpoint theories, about feminist theories, and all these things. So I hope that you would have found this course useful. You would have found the sociological knowledge that is produced quite fascinating, because it presents you with quite a lot of non-commonsensical or more sociologically rigorous understanding about the society in which we live, and that enables us to be more sensitive to our own life, and also to the lives of people who are to the people around us. So I hope that you would have found the course useful, not very challenging, not very difficult to follow. Of course, I have not used the PowerPoint in every classes. Some classes I used the actual original essays. I would urge you to read these original essays, because most of these materials are available online, and I would urge you to read the original material, because reading original materials would really enhance your scholarly abilities, and then aptitudes. So I hope that you have understood and then followed this whole course and then found it useful. So I'm concluding, I'm winding up the course. I wish you all the best. I hope all of you would take the examination of this course very seriously, and will clear and will appear for the examination and then clear the course, and this will become an added qualification for you, and this course will be quite useful for you in various ways. So all the best, and see you later. Thank you.